Hey, what is up guys, GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory video, now with the collaboration of Evangelion. So let's talk about the first character available to us, Asuka right here. The truth is she going to be strong or is she going to be worth pulling? Now that is going to be dependent on a lot of things, right? If you care about the collaboration, number one, if you care about limited, because after the collab ends, you won't be able to obtain her again. So right now, we are having this exclusive collaboration story as well with the You Cannot Evade event, and you can see the story is divided into 3 parts. We have story 1, story 2 and story 3. So story 1 is happening right now. Alright, so you can obtain Asuka, and then next week is Rei, and then the week after that is going to be Mari. So let's just focus on Asuka first in this video. I'm going to give you guys my honest thoughts on whether she's going to be worth pulling for or not, because I think she's a bit more complicated, right? So I hope that in this video I can basically give you guys a little bit more detailed perspective. So first things first, let's show you guys some pulls, and then we're going to jump into the skills and such. Huge! Okay, nobody told me Leona has huge costume. Okay, let's see from the back. How about from the back? Wow! Okay. Yeah, what do you guys think? So can we one tap Asuka? One tapping is important. If you can't even one tap, then there's just no point. There's just no point. Everybody is pulling. Alright, everybody has been saving for the longest time ever. Is this a one tap? Okay, it's not a one tap, sad. So we're looking for abnormal, which is a 4% but a 2% rate up. Okay, hopefully 2 tap. Hopefully 2 tap. You get a nice figure of her for those $60. I don't know, man. $60 for that? I feel like Marcena one is better, right? But yeah, definitely it's up to the player's choice. Okay, let's see. Third time is the charm. Come on, man. Man. 30 pulls and nothing? Okay, it's here. 40 pulls. 40 pulls. 40 pulls. Okay. Alright. This is it. It has to be, right? Everybody is one tapping her. No way I'm not. So we're looking for abnormal. Abnormal. Abnormal like Asuka, okay. Wow. Japanese. No English voice acting. People were bitching on Twitter. So Asuka, what is she all about? If you guys haven't observed her skill yet, this is where it becomes really complicated. Alright, her skill 1 is she can deal damage to shield. This is cool and all, but is this really a must-have? Because like not every enemy has a shield. So some enemies, some raptures have shield. Sure, that's cool. You can destroy the shield, but it won't be able to deal additional damage to the raptures itself, right? But the additional stuff right here activates when recovery takes effect. Effect self, attack increased by 96.98%. So this one is really cool. When recovery takes effect, meaning that when you are able to be healed. Alright, so the skill 2 is where this is going to be a little bit more complicated. So activates when entering full burst. Affect self when in shield status. So what does she get when you get shield? Damage at strong element increased by 30%. Now here is the truth, right? Damage to strong element is going to be only good if you are in the elemental advantage against the enemy, right? So in this case, she is going to be fire type. So fire type is good against wind type enemies. So that means you can see right here, right? Deal 10% additional damage. So she is going to do more damage against wind type. So this damage as strong element is cool and all, right? But do you really need a shield? Now that depends, right? If you are fighting a wind type enemy, yes, you ideally want to have that. But if you're not fighting a wind type enemy, you actually don't need the shield, because all it does is gives you the damage as strong element, but it doesn't work against other element that's not wind type. So keep that in mind, alright? We're going to talk about that. Now you can see when she bursts, alright, affects all fire code allies where their damage dealt when attacking core, increased by 60% for 10 seconds, alright? Now her burst skill gives her pierce for 25 seconds, attack damage increased by 150%, recovers 3.16% of attack damage as HP over 10 seconds, and also her hit rate increase, right? So that is going to be one of the few things to consider. Now let's talk about the issue that I've noticed with her, right? In particular, what is the main issue right now in terms of using Asuka? Like, is there a big issue that we can observe? So one thing is her ammo capacity is really low. As you can see, she's an assault rifle, but she only has 20 ammo capacity. Now that leads to her constantly being always reloading all the time. Alright, so that is going to be something that you will definitely observe and notice. Is that going to be the end of the world? No, you can basically try to, you know, replace that with substats overload gears later on for sure. Now as you can see, like other character, for example, like this is Sakura Summer, which is a recent character. She has armor capacity of 60. She's also an assault rifle as well. So this is like, she has like 3 times more. So it definitely does affect her damage overall. And of course, you know, going for something like increasing your max ammo capacity can help a little bit, and also trying to give her an ability to increase her reload speed. That's going to push her a little bit in that direction of trying to do more consistent damage, right? Now, who pairs well with Asuka? Because if you're going to pull for her, you need to know who is going to work well. If you don't intend to pull Rei, then you need a character that can generate shield for her. Now, Crown is one such character, but she is a pilgrim character. Alright, if you don't have Crown, it's going to be a bit difficult, right? Crown has this ability on her burst skill, creates a shield right here. Okay, so if you don't have Crown, then the next option is going to be Tia and Naga. Alright, Tia and Naga actually works very well in a pair, and ideally you want to use them together. So Tia, recently we got this free costume. Now Tia is the one that generates the shield on the burst skill as well, generates a shield. So these two, you know, Crown, Tia, Naga are going to be meta, right? Definitely. And there are some other characters that are not super meta, for example like Polly. You can also use that, but Polly is a 40 seconds character. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it for you to pull Asuka and then pair with Polly. She also creates a shield right here, as you can see. Also, we have like Folk Wang that can do that as well. Folk Wang is also not a meta character, so she does have the ability to generate shield right here if the ally is with the highest attack. But yeah, those are the options that are less meta. I feel like Crown, Tia, Naga, these two are pretty much like a staple that you're gonna see a lot of players try to pair with her, or with Rei later on. So Rei is not here in the game yet, she's gonna come next week, so we can test her out when that happens. By the way, Modernia, when she fights boss, she doesn't need to burst. As long as she's hitting the core, she can ideally deal more damage. So we're gonna test this out. Ooh. Okay, again. This is, we are fighting right now a boss that Asuka is good against. Alright, this is a wind boss. So Asuka got the wind damage bonus right here. But you can see Asuka is doing more damage than Modernia. Before you guys say, oh, Modernia didn't burst, of course, Modernia doesn't need to burst. Again, I just want to reiterate, you guys can test it out on yourself. Ideally, she doesn't need to burst when she's fighting bosses. Especially one single boss, unless there's multiple enemies in the map. So Asuka is actually as good as, if not better than Modernia in this case. But let's try a different scenario, right? Let's see if we can bring a different methodology. Scarlet Black Shadow can never be destroyed, can never lose. She's like the strongest when it comes to fighting against bosses. Is Scarlet Black Shadow still the killer? Yes, she is, and it's not even close. The truth is, nobody can beat Scarlet Black Shadow. When it comes to the strongest boss attacker, damage dealer in the game, Scarlet Black Shadow is still the best one. Yeah, Asuka is strong, but she's not Scarlet Black Shadow. She's no Scarlet Black Shadow, right? And just so you guys know, this is a stage that Asuka has an advantage. Alright, it's not even fair for Scarlet Black Shadow. It's not fair for Scarlet Black Shadow. Yet Scarlet Black Shadow is still doing more. We are fighting in the wind stage where Asuka has the elemental advantage. Okay, I'm gonna try this, right? We're gonna try Tia Naga, okay? And then I'm gonna try with comparison of Asuka versus Ain. Because remember, Ain is a recent DPS character that was added in the standard pool. And Ain is definitely one of the stronger characters as well, right? For electric type. Okay, so in this particular testing, Asuka is doing slightly less than Ain, which is a very interesting one. So this testing is against a boss, which is a fire element boss. So none of Asuka and Ain has the elemental advantage. Okay, so they both are pretty much neutral, right? So none of them has elemental advantage. So you still need somebody to give shield. In this case, Tia is giving shield for Asuka skill 2 to basically get the... Okay, let's try figuratively with Blanc and Noah. So am I getting around the same damage?
Did you see that, teacher? Wasn't I great?
295. If you are not using Asuka for elemental advantage, Blanc and Noir is better. So you can see 111 right here, right? Compared to 105. 108 for Ain as well. Now because Asuka's skill 2 is the one that gives her elemental advantage bonus, right? We are fighting a boss right here that is a fire type, so we don't get the elemental advantage. So Blanc and Noir is actually better. If you're fighting a boss that doesn't give you... If you're not fighting a boss that's weak against fire, in that case win. So there's one factor as well. But yeah, I do think that ideally you still want to use Asuka against, you know, if you're an endgame player, you probably have plenty of characters built. But this is more useful for new players to have a little bit of knowledge on, I guess. So here is my conclusion on Asuka. Alright, day 1 conclusion. Hopefully this analysis is going to help you guys make a better decision. Do I think she's strong? She's probably held back by a couple of weird decisions I think the developers intentionally make just to basically nerf her a little bit. So number 1 is her ability to need shield. Now, here is the truth about this particular skill, right? Like I mentioned, her skill 2, right? When she gets shield status, she gets damage as strong element by 30%. Now, if this wasn't damage as strong element, if this was attack increase, damage increase, I think that would have made her a much more flexible unit overall. Now, because this is damage as strong element, then she only gets the bonus when she's fighting wind type enemies. Now, is that a big deal? Is that a big problem? For me, no. I'm a veteran player. I have plenty of other characters. But if you're a new player, you ideally want to pull for something that's more flexible, right? I would recommend Red Hood, Scarlet Black Shadow for newer players. I wouldn't recommend Asuka. Obviously, like right now, she's there in the banner, but some of you guys, maybe you come in here, you're like, hey, I want to come into Nikke because of the Evangelion collab, and I get that. But if you're a new player, you might not be able to utilize her fully, alright, which is the point number 1, right? It doesn't like make her a bad character, it's just she might not be for everyone. So number 2, she needs shield, alright, she needs a shield, and if you look at her skill 1, she also needs to be able to take recovery. And this is where the problem lies. To build her is actually quite complicated, and it's not as flexible for new players to try to like come up with a team with her. You need like a certain few characters right now, which is Tia and Naga, preferably, right? Even Crown is not going to fully utilize it, because while Crown does give you shield, there's no healer in that team, so you still need to bring someone else, maybe like a Rapunzel or something. So that's going to be a little bit difficult for you to configure as well. So you can look at this particular screenshot right there. Now right now her damage is going to be somewhere in the, I would say somewhere in the Red Hood range of level. So you can see this one is comparing her right here, right? So she's nowhere near Scarlet Black Shadow. Scarlet Black Shadow is still going to do more. So you can see in a consistent, you know, output damage, she is not even close to competing against Collab Black Shadow in a boss situation or a boss scenario. Now, Asuka is stronger than Red Hood if she is able to meet two conditions, which is getting the healing and getting the shield from Crown. Alright, so Crown or any other characters, right? Or Rapunzel in this case, or you can use Tia and Naga. So if she gets both heal and shield, then she will outpower or outperform Red Hood. But if she only get the healing, alright, she only in this case gets her skill 1, which is this attack percent increase, she won't be able to outperform Red Hood still. So Red Hood is still going to be strong, Red Hood is still going to be way more flexible because of that. So right here you can see against a wind type enemy, this is where Asuka has the elemental advantage. Then yes, she outperforms Red Hood if 3 conditions are met. You have the elemental advantage, which is your enemy is wind, you are fire. You have the healer in a team, so that when you do so that your skill 1 can activate more frequently. You also have someone that gives shield in the team, so that your skill 2 can proc and gives you bonus damage elemental advantage. So there's like 3 conditions for you to be able to outperform Red Hood. It's still kind of niche if you ask me, right? Whereas Red Hood is still going to be more flexible. You can use her against other bosses that might not be good against her type in this case, which is the iron typing, right? So I feel like Asuka is still going to be more niche. Now, is she currently the best fire type DPS character? Perhaps. There's a chance that right now she's going to be one of the stronger fire type characters, but she's not going to be the character that's like super flexible, that you can use her against a lot of other bosses. Now, if you're tackling specifically against a wind type boss, and definitely right now, knowing based on previous experiences, they're always going to introduce the boss right now to make Asuka look strong. I understand that, but it's just a matter of time before I feel like she's going to sit in the bench for a lot of players. I remember when Emilia first came out, when Ram first came out, that is pretty much the case. And then players used them for a while, right? With those two characters, because they were strong. Both Ram and Emilia are, I believe, water type characters. And during that period, they have like the elemental advantage against the fire type enemies. After then, you probably don't really use them anymore. I guess Emilia can still be used in PvP and stuff. But it feels like this kind of pattern is there present in Asuka as well. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Asuka. Again, I don't think she's a bad character, but I just feel like she might be a difficult character to be able to utilize consistently against, I guess the term is she's not as flexible as Red Hood or Scarlet Black Shadow. I think flexibility is also very important when you're trying to pull for a character. And I get it, right? Some of you guys are, you know, you prefer to pull for something like a Pilgrim, where you can almost use them like Crown, Litter. Those are super flexible characters that you can use them anywhere. Same goes for Scarlet Black Shadow and Red Hood as well. They can be used for like 90% of the circumstances or the bosses, right? I can't say the same for Asuka, it feels like. But again, this is just my day one impressions. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go and claim the costume. So it's in the challenge mode in the event. Make sure you guys go there. Alright. And then there's a daily here. Make sure you guys do this daily as well. And then under the challenge, if you opt in Asuka, you can just claim the free costume. Alright, make sure you guys do that and do the minigame. By the way, the minigame has its own dailies as well. I don't know why all of these games yeah, make sure you guys do the dailies. This one has dailies, the event itself has dailies. You have like 3 dailies right now. So yeah, with that being said, that's gonna be it for this particular video. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like if you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.